Hi everyone, how you guys doing? So yeah, today we're going to be making some Australian recipes. I have 3 in mind. The first one is the only one that actually is vaguely complicated and takes time, and that is lamington, which is sponge cake coated in chocolate, coated in coconut. The second one is Vegemite Scrolls, which is super easy. And the third one is fairy bread, which is very complicated and a very specific recipe, but I think you guys will manage it. Let me get out the ingredients for our lamington, because that's the thing we're going to be doing first. So, if anyone's baking along, the ingredients are in the Discord, but let me just get them out for myself. Alright, 125 grams of butter and 1 cup of caster sugar. In case anyone is wondering what caster sugar is, it's basically just finely ground sugar. I don't think it's very common in America, but yeah, it's normal granulated sugar. It's not powdered sugar. Vanilla extract. I'm a little bit low on it because I use it a lot. I should probably get some more soon. 3 eggs. The recipe does technically say to have the eggs at room temperature. They were just in the fridge, but that's fine. Flour. Milk. Baking powder. All right. I think that's all the ingredients for the sponge cake. And first, we're going to preheat our oven to 180 degrees Celsius. All right, oven is on. That is preheating. So I'm going to put the baking powder with the flour in this handy dandy bowl. So we need 1 3/4 cups of flour. That's 1 cup. I don't really do the whole flattening out and stuff. I just don't have time for that. 1 and then 3/4 cups. Am I up to 3? I've lost count. I'm just gonna hope that's 3. I think I put in 3/4 cups. When do we get the lamington speedrun? I am zooming through this already. Alright, how much baking powder? 3.5 teaspoons. 1, 2, 3. I'm just gonna do 3. I think 3 is fine. They were big teaspoons. Alright. It also says to grease and line a baking pan, but I don't use baking paper. I just never do. I don't think you need to. I think it's a waste of paper. I feel like just covering a square in grease is fine. So yeah, we'll see if that comes back to bite me, but it usually doesn't. We're usually fine. So we have put the baking powder and the sugar together. It says to sift them together, but I also don't believe in sifting. So we just put them together physically. Sifting is for people with too much time. Alright, butter, sugar, and vanilla extract. We're gonna beat the butter, the sugar, and the vanilla extract in an electric mixer. Ugh, I hate using electric mixers. So many dishes. Electric mixers are for the weak, I know, but it says to do it for 2 minutes on high. So it must really want it beaten. Get those gains, do it by hand. I'm tempted. Usually I use this, which is, it's a mechanical beater. It works just as well most of the time, but it is a lot of energy. So we want to beat the butter, the sugar, and the vanilla. So we're gonna have to measure that out. I feel like the amount we have here is about 125 grams, but we're gonna see. Turns out it's only 100 grams of butter, but I think we'll be fine. It's alright. I just realized I'm really not qualified to do like a bake along. I'm more doing a experiment along, you know? A hope and pray along. I should put mint in it. I don't know what you plan on making. Mint would go terribly, but I appreciate the suggestion. Alright, butter. Now we need 1 cup of caster sugar. If a recipe ever calls for caster sugar and you don't have it, basically you can just use normal granulated sugar, or if you're particularly worried about the consistency, you can get granulated sugar and just use a mortar and pestle and ground it up a little bit. Lysel would have a mortar and pestle. I have multiple. We love mortar and pestles in this house. Why wouldn't you have a mortar and pestle? What do you do when you need to grind up some nutmeg, you know? Or drugs. Alright, that's all our sugar. True. Laugh at chat, say true. You don't know what true is, but it sure do be true though. It really do be true though. You guys do be making good points. Honestly, fire points at all times. That is exhausting. It's so heavy. Man, my little weak baby arms are a very weakened baby. Oh, that's really not beating that well. I don't know if that's because I didn't add very much butter. It could be. Also, every recipe I've ever seen always calls for unsalted butter. I don't like unsalted butter. Butter is just better with salt. Just a little bit of salt will bring out the sweetness and make it also taste bearable. You know when you eat something and you're like, you know, that's true sweet. Probably because it doesn't have any salt in it. You just need that. My oven just thumped. I thought I might have trapped a dog in there or something. Alright, and always save your butter skins because it's just a bunch of butter that's really easy to apply to pans. So you know when I said I wasn't going to put baking paper in my pans? Still not going to, but I can grease it using this butter skin. This looks about right for what we want. We want a square tin for today because lamingtons are square. As Bob Ross would say, wet, slick, and ready to go. Alright, our butter is all beat. That is good. So we've beat together the butter and the sugar until it's light and fluffy. This is light and fluffy, I'd say. Add 1 egg at a time, beating well after each addition so the batter is smooth. Take this. I love a recipe that specifies the size of the bowl. Apparently this is the container that I'm meant to be making my batter in. I thought this was the container that I was meant to be beating in, so I just used a beating container. But I think I was meant to put it in a big bowl. Easily fixed. Okay, that wasn't the strat. Alright, there we go. Perfect. You better be scraping the sides. Oh boy, I'm scraping the sides. You bet it. I wouldn't waste a single drop of this beautiful butter sugar. Alright. Now let's beat in eggs 1 at a time. 1 at a time. Who do you think I am? 1 at a time. Alright, and then we beat it together, but I already licked the beater, so I can't use that, so I'm just gonna use a fork. It said not to curdle it, but I don't know what that means exactly. I thought you needed, like, acid to curdle eggs. Beat thoroughly without curdling, easily, yeah. I just don't know what curdling is. I think I'm done though. It's relatively well combined. Oh! I misread the recipe. Add each egg beating well so that the batter is smooth, not curdled. Curdled is not properly beaten, I get it. I will keep beating that. So, we are done. Now we add half the flour and gently fold to combine, then stir in half the milk. Easy. I have a folder. This is good for folding, right? Oh, shit. Did you see how close that was to going in my tea? Holy crap, that would have been so sad. I'm glad it didn't go in the tea. I feel like butter and tea is not the best combination. So, let me add half the flour and gently fold, then stir in half the milk. And pour the batter into the prepared pan. Easy. Easy. We are getting through this. It only took us an hour. I think this is going to be a kick-ass sponge. Bake it till you make it. That's my motto. Just feels difficult setting up a mic in the kitchen. Honestly, this setup didn't take that long. Alright, and another 1/4 cup of milk. Setting up mic isn't that hard. Just setting up like though? Exclamation mark YouTube. True, only you guys can set up likes on my YouTube channel. Did you know only 60% of people who watch my videos are subscribed? When is that gonna become a meme, I swear to God. Let's put this into the tin. Alright. My cake batter is nice and flattened in its tin. Oh, I dropped the knife, covered in butter all over the floor. Now the floor's covered in butter. Somebody's gonna walk into the kitchen and it's gonna be like the cartoon character with the banana peel. Whoop, whoop, whoop. That'll be great. I'll leave it on the floor just for that comedic moment. Alright. I think that's everything for the sponge section of this baking experience. Let me just double check. We pour the batter, bake for 25 minutes, and then stand for 5. Excellent. Let's put it in the oven. Okay. Alarm is set for 25 minutes. And until then, we will get started on the icing. So, the ingredients for the icing are icing sugar, also known as powdered sugar, cocoa powder, butter, and water. Easy. Let's do it. I could probably do it in this container if I'm lazy. Oh, no, actually, I'm going to need it in a bowl so I can roll because the idea is you get your squares of sponge cake and you roll them in the thing, so it's covered on all sides. So I will need it in a bowl. So to make icing, we need 4 cups, holy of icing sugar, 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder, 1 tablespoon of butter, and 150 milliliters of boiling water. How convenient. I knew that was gonna happen. All right, 1, 2. Why is there something solid in here? Do you hear that? What is that? Why is it in here? Someone left a teaspoon buried deep inside of this jar. What the fuck? What number was I up to? I don't remember. Something 1, something 2. Alright, something 2s, that'll do. That's a lot of icing sugar. Now we need 1/3 of a cup of cocoa powder. Okay, so we've got all this. Now we need a bit of butter and 1/2 a cup and a bit of wood. Lauren's stream sniping again? I can't believe this. Can we copy strike this? Are you allowed to shoot guns on Twitch? I never thought about this. Could you do like a shooting stream? Not that I'm thinking of doing that, I was just curious. You want to do a shooting stream? Just wondering. I was just thinking about stream sniping. I was thinking you could do it literally. You guys understand. My sister walks in, I just think about shooting streams. Alright, this is a lot of chocolate icing. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of this, but here we are. Okay. We got our icing sorted. The only other thing we need is 3 cups of desiccated coconut. Okay, here's the coconut. I'll just leave it here for now because we don't really need it yet. So, next we're going to work on Vegemite Scrolls, which is the controversial one out of these. And then, by the way, the fairy bread is going to be the epic finale because it's very exciting and a very complex recipe. If anybody is vaguely curious on a Vegemite recipe that tastes really good, the Vegemite Scrolls are great. Do you want me to make Vegemite Scrolls for lunch? Might as well, right? Okay. Vegemite Scrolls for lunch? Oh, no, Hippo, no. It's yeast extract. It is not some form of poop. Dr. Pepper's good though. If somebody told me Dr. Pepper was some form of poop, I wouldn't be surprised. The reason why most people think Vegemite is bad is because they try it by itself, not on anything. Exactly. If you try it on a Vegemite scroll, I guarantee you will either think, that's quite good, or that's okay. But you won't think it's bad. Okay. Bench is clean. Let's get started on the Vegemite Scrolls. Fuck pastry. Let's get out the Vegemite. Here it is. The one, the only. And then the other thing we're going to be having it with is cheese. I'm going to grate these up. I'm not even joking, we cleaned our dishwasher once, and in the bottom... Lauren brings this up all the time. Lauren doesn't like Vegemite, and she'll always bring up the fact that one time there was a substance at the bottom of the dishwasher that looked like Vegemite. So this is apparently her justification for not eating it. It's yeast extract, okay? It's not dishwasher dregs, it's not feces. It's just yeast extract. Okay, so we've got our Vegemite. That's the Vegemite. We've got our cheese. So we're pretty much all set. We just have to wait for the pastry to thaw, but it looks like it's already done that. Don't want it to thaw too much because then it's going to get sticky and a mess. So I'm going to work right now. So, Vegemite, which is a surprisingly hard substance, relatively thinly so that you can see that beautiful brown, not at all similar to any sort of defecation color. Okay, let's add the cheese now. And again, same principle, you want it nice and even. Okay, so we've got a nice even coating of cheese. We're looking good. Next step of the scroll, pretty easy. You just want to roll it up like a poorly done roll of sushi. So now we've got a roll, but that's not our end goal. Before I cut it all up, I'm actually just gonna make the second one real quick. We can make another Vegemite one, or we can make something else. Beastie! There's a little beastie on the window. She did a little meow, I'll let her in. She's got some grass in her mouth. Don't know why. She's very sweet. Aren't you sweet? I am gonna make a pizza flavored one. Can't find any pizza sauce. I'll keep looking. There is a tiny amount of pizza sauce, but it'll probably work, honestly. So let's use this. Use a spoon, works much better. Yeah, probably would, but I couldn't get it in the bottle. I'd have to use a knife to get it out, and a spoon to spread it. And honestly, that's just too many dishes. It's a bit lazy of me. Alright, easy. We have got the pizza spread. Now I'm going to add cheese. Probably need more cheese, as the French would say. Probably need more cheese. It's a classic French saying. Callie would know. Plus de fromage. Agreed. This is a lot of cheese, I will admit. This is a huge block of cheese. I did shout when Lauren and Mum went to the shops yesterday, and I asked them to get some stuff for my cooking, and I shouted after them as they left, I need cheese! And I wasn't sure if they heard me or not, so I just kept saying cheese until they went into the car. But it seems they received the message. Nice, Zilly's eating my floor butter. One less thing to clean up. Alright. Cheese time. Alright, easy, cheesy, lemon, squeezy. Let me add some herbs because I think they would be nice. It's a lot of cheese. I don't know, maybe it's not enough. Is this what people call a pizza roll? What's a pizza roll? Is it like a pizza hot pocket? What is this thing? Is it like a calzone? I might have gone overboard with cheese, but I was just so inspired by just the general enthusiasm in chat for it. So I just kept going. Here we go. It closed, not enough cheese. You do make a good point. Alright, let's chop it up. So you chop it up like bits of sushi. Okay, first tray of Vegemite Scrolls, well actually these ones are the pizza scrolls, is done. I will put them in the box. Now it's time to do our lamingtons, which I'm very excited about. Nice. Beautiful. Now we want to cut it into squares. Alright, I am going to, now that I've got these all cut up, we now have our lovely little squares. They're not perfect squares, but I'm not fussy. So I'm going to put them in the freezer, because they do need to be frozen. Hopefully that gets good and frozen as soon as possible, because they need to be frozen so that we can dip them in the icing. In the meanwhile, you know what we could do? It's the moment you've all been waiting for. One slice of bread, some butter, sprinkles. For all of you at home, I would recommend using bread that isn't moldy. However, I did specifically say underwhelming bread, and therefore this does fit the bill. So we're fine. Let's put, this isn't the most difficult step, but it's a tricky one. Butter, bread. Put it on nice and even. Try not to clump it. You can mess up this step pretty badly. You don't want clumps of butter, especially if you're using margarine. A clump of margarine is not anybody's happy place. You want the whole surface sticky with butter. Now, you want your sprinkles. This is the messy step, so I'm actually gonna put this in a bowl because sprinkles can and will go everywhere. So just carefully, slowly pour those sprinkles on there. Just spread them around a bit so they're nice and embedded in the butter. So you have a beautiful piece of fairy bread. You shouldn't just cut off the moldy part. That works hard for cheese and stuff. That works for cheese and stuff, but not for bread. What's wrong? It's moldy bread. You guys have eaten moldy bread before, right? Jesus Christ. The first world nowadays. Waste not, want not. It's fine, guys. What's wrong with you all? Are you kidding me right now? I've been waiting all day for my fairy bread, and because it had a tiny piece of green on the corner, you're not gonna let me eat it? That's insane. I eat moldy bread all the time. You guys are so picky. This piece of bread had a tiny piece of green in the corner, and now they're panicking that I'm gonna die if I eat it. But you know what? It's fine. The mold was on this corner, I'll eat the other corner. Yeah, it doesn't taste the best. It tastes pretty old. It doesn't taste strongly of mold. Sometimes it does. This one doesn't. It just tastes underwhelming, which is exactly what you want. When you have fairy bread, underwhelming is about what you get. These look great. These are the pizza ones, so they're full of cheese, but they look fantastic. Honestly, these scrolls look fire. They're all beautifully golden and crunchy. They smell delicious. These ones had less cheese in them, so they exploded a little less. They're a bit neater. But these are the Vegemite Scrolls, which actually also smell great. I will admit the pizza ones, I have a real soft spot for oregano and basil and stuff. It smells great, but these ones smell good too. So, that was fairy bread. I didn't realize that was going to be such chaos when I did it. Let's just stir up this icing again. Might put it in the microwave, just give it a little zap so it's molten again. So it's easier to dip the lamingtons in. Because this is our next step. Now we've got to make the actual lamingtons. The cake is probably cool enough now. Looks good to me. So I'm going to try rolling it in some of this icing. We'll see how we go. Alright. Nice and liquid. That's good. Why didn't you frost the cake instead of dipping the cake in frosting? Because it needs to be frosted on all sides. If you frost the cake, then it's only going to be frosted on 5 sides, isn't it? So this is the whole point of having it on all sides. They look very cute. Because it's this whole little cube of lamington. Beautiful. They're so cute. They're so cute. Oh, I'm surprised I haven't managed to get any chocolate on my nice white shirt. Honestly, a miracle. I don't know how that happened, but I'll take it. We're done. Pog. My camera's lagging. Pog. We are done. Look at this. Holy shit, guys. This looks so cool. It's heavy. This is a hefty plate full of lamington. Damn, boy. But that's pretty much it for today. We did our fairy bread. We did our Vegemite Scrolls. We did our lamingtons. We've kind of killed it, honestly. Thank you so much for being here. Bye.